Hello everyone, this video is the third in our 6-part video series on the federal election. We're releasing one episode per week, and our previous 2 issues focused on religious freedom and abortion. Now this week, Executive Director Mark Penninga talks about mounting pressure being placed on politicians to expand assisted suicide laws in Canada, and how you can ask and challenge your local candidates about this issue.
Thanks for this opportunity, Colin. You may wonder why we say that euthanasia should be an election issue, given that Parliament passed a law legalizing assisted suicide and euthanasia back in 2016. As you may know, our current euthanasia law says that a person cannot be euthanized unless their natural death is reasonably foreseeable. It's not a very clear rule, since there's no specific length of time mentioned, but it's better than nothing. However, just a couple weeks ago, we learned of some very disappointing developments. The one that received media attention is that a Quebec judge has ruled that the requirement that a patient's death be reasonably foreseeable is too restrictive of a person's autonomy. Meanwhile, in another case in BC, the same rule about foreseeability of death was being challenged. The court adjourned the case, however, after the Attorney General of Canada suggested that the plaintiff, who has a serious illness but who's expected to have quite a few years of life ahead of her, could nevertheless be euthanized today, even under the current law. This shows just how vague and flexible the reasonably foreseeable death rule is, or how flexible it's being used. Even so, the lawyer who brought that case is still intent to strike down this rule and is looking for a new plaintiff to add to this same case whose death is not reasonably foreseeable. ARPA is an intervener in this case and intends to defend the validity of restrictions on euthanasia in court. If these developments aren't reason enough to make euthanasia an election issue, we should remember that when C-14 passed, it included a mandatory review of the law after 5 years. That means that Parliament will be studying it again soon. We know that politicians are already being pressured to expand eligibility for euthanasia, even to children and those who suffer from mental illness. It's so important that those aspiring to the office of MP and our new MPs, elected in October, that they know the facts of this issue and that they understand why it's crucial to protect human life, especially those who already feel like they're a burden. Will you please bring this issue to the attention of those running in your riding? Thank you.